Do you know that feeling you get when you know that you need to do something, but your heart and stomach and back and ass are telling you that you shouldn't? And they're giving you like every like sign and precaution to not do the thing that you know deep in your heart you don't want to do. You're developing like IBS and anxiety and night terrors because you know that you don't want to do it. But then at the same time, you know that if you just get it done, you like won't have to worry about it anymore until the next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, and the week after that. Hi, my name's Tyler Jakowski. Welcome to episode 29 of Classroom Horror Stories. I cannot believe you guys enjoy this. All the way from New York to South Africa to Brisbane, Australia to Jesus, where else? We've got Germany, so many people in the UK. You all need medicine. You all need medicine and I can't prescribe it. You need to go to a professional. This is just the most clear sign of mental illness I've ever seen. If you like this series, you need medicine. Does that make me an enabler? It probably does. Regardless, on episode 28, we had a bet. My fantastic editor, Caroline, she made a bet that if episode 28 gets to 100,000 views, I will have to dress up as Alexander Hamilton for whatever episode comes after the 100,000. And I thought to myself, I was like, I don't think any of these episodes have gotten to 100,000 yet. And I still don't think that they have. And I'm like, that's unrealistic. And then I looked at the numbers after one day. You guys got 1/10 of the way there in 24 hours.
So yeah, that's the situation.
I have not seen the end of these little Alexander come back to sleep comments, and again, night terrors, scared feelings, IBS mostly, yeah, constipation too. Bad times to be good old Mr. J. I've found a fix. In episode 28, I also introduced my feel-good hat. One second. This is my feel-good hat. When I start feeling not good, I'm gonna put this hat on. But I have another layer of defense. These are my feel-good sunglasses. When I feel not good, I'm gonna put on these sunglasses and this hat. My goal of this episode is to not have to put them on. But we all know how this story goes. Okay, we're gonna get right into it. We have stories from literally all around the world because for some reason you guys love this. We got 4 pretty ridiculous stories. I think you're gonna love every single one of them. Mostly because you know I'm gonna hate them. All right, let's start the trauma. Hello, Mr. J. My name is Danica, and I'm a teacher in Miami Public Schools. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that that's a wild place to be a teacher. Just gonna guess. Let me know if I'm right or wrong. When I was in my 3rd year of teaching, I had a student who literally went out of his way to make sure that the school day was not normal, okay? His name is Georgie, and literally once per day, he would cause some type of chaos. I fear that I might have been Georgie in my school, especially in elementary school. I was a little demon. I was like the principal's worst nightmare. I remember her name was Mrs. A.
And that stood for like some really long last name that I probably shouldn't say on social media, but
I remember I used to enjoy going into her office because this woman had an obsession with the Wizard of Oz. And she would have like 1,000 little action figures and all this, and my little undiagnosed ADHD brain would have the most fun while she was screaming at me. I would just dissociate and look at all of the different action figures. So yeah, I might be Georgie. One of Georgie's favorite things to do was to sneak into the office during morning announcements, steal the microphone that the principal would use to talk to the school, and fart into the microphone. I know I shouldn't find these funny because that's horrible to have to deal with every day, but that's hilarious. Come on, he's farting into the microphone. Every morning, he's just like lighting up the school. Oh, that's crazy. So what you're telling me is that this child would sneak into the office and physically steal the microphone? There was no one who was like aptly sized to stop this child from farting into the microphone? Be so real with me. Come on. Oh, here we go. Somehow no one in the administration could find a way to stop this 4-foot tall demon from farting into the morning announcements. Something about the idea of like really boring morning announcements followed by just like this secretion would be so funny to me. One thing that's especially hard for teachers is like if you find something funny and you know you can't laugh at it. I gave up on that years ago, where it's like I laugh at everything my students say and do, even when I shouldn't. I'm sorry, it's what I do. This all happened until one day when Georgie was gonna do his typical sneaking in and farting into the microphone. In all of our classrooms, we started to almost expect Georgie each morning. Where are Georgie's parents? One day towards the end of the school year, Georgie snuck in and was getting ready to do his fart. When throughout the entire school, we listened to Georgie completely fill his pants with poo. Oh, Georgie. Oh, buddy, you can't trust a fart when you're doing it into the morning announcement speaker, buddy. That's not good. Oh no. You could very clearly hear it go from air to liquid to solid. Jesus. Danica, with the details. You're making my stomach hurt. Oh my God. You could tell that Georgie was completely shaken and you could hear him crying in the office while the announcements kept playing. Oh no. After this, Georgie never did this again. Okay, kind of a round circle story if you think about it. Like, we kind of solved the problem in a way, right? Georgie doesn't fart into the microphone, and no one really had to do any work to stop him. They just kind of let him shit his pants. I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of beautiful. I hope this story helps you in your quest to steal Christmas, you green fuzzy thing. I don't look like a Dr. Seuss character. Can we be done with, we're never gonna be done with this. What am I talking about? That was fun in a traumatic way. I haven't had to put my feel-good hat or sunglasses on yet, but we're gonna keep it rolling. Danica, thank you for writing in. I hope that Georgie's pants get washed. That's all I can really hope for.
Bacon avocado. I'm afraid of women. I also have autism.
Okay, this story is called Principal CRASHOUT, and I can already feel how bad this is about to be. Hi, Mr. J. My name is Katie, and I'm not a teacher, but I have a story that I think you're gonna absolutely love. I've been working in a school in Oregon as a student counselor for the past 10 years. During my first 3 years at the school, we had a principal who was very problematic. Don't we all? Don't we all? And if you're the principal who I'm talking about, you know who you are. I love it. He would constantly yell at teachers, and he was known to be physically abusive with students. Jesus Christ. This is known, and he's still doing his job. Well, I hope he's not still doing his job. And whenever we would have a get-together with teachers, he would find some way to ruin it. Typical. For example, during the Christmas party, my second year, he spiked the punch at the Christmas party, and 5 of the teachers ended up in the hospital with alcohol poisoning. Who is your principal, Satan? And you know what? He would be just like the kids that I knew in college where they're like, I'm trying to make the party more fun. No, you're turning everybody into earthworms. No one's having fun. Believe it or not, that's actually not the story I'm gonna tell you. Yikes, okay, it gets worse. Typical for these stories because you love to say, that's not the worst part. How? Explain it, do it. During my 3rd year at the school and his last year that he was at the school, we were holding a school-wide presentation in the auditorium. The school invited a group of Disney characters to come and do dances on stage to entertain the kids. Fun! How's he gonna ruin this? Oh God. Before the dancers were brought out, the principal came up on stage to introduce them. As he was walking to the stage, he seemed to be walking with a little bit of a limp, and the suit that he was wearing seemed a little beaten up. When he got to the mic and looked out to the crowd, all the teachers could tell that he was completely drunk. Yikes. Instead of introducing the Disney characters who were waiting eagerly behind him, he let the crowd of teachers... Give me a beer. Whoa, wait a minute. He let the crowd of teachers and elementary school students know that his wife had been cheating on him for the past 3 years with his brother. Oh, not with the brother. Oh, sweet Christ. He told the students that love is not real and that life means pain. What? Why are you telling this to children? How did you get this job? Did you not have a record before this? No one just switches up like this during a job as principal. When one of the teachers tried to walk up and take the mic away from him, he shoved the teacher off of the stage and she fell and hit her head. You think you're having a bad day? You don't know what a bad day is. This is a crash out, Jesus. He also took this time to let the school know that 3 of the teachers have been sleeping with each other for the whole school year. You're doing this while Disney characters are in the back, like... I honestly don't know who has it worse. The kids and the adults in the crowd, or the 40-year-old men dressed up as like Mickey and Minnie who have to wait until the end of this like horrific spiel to do their dances and make the kids happy? I think they might have it worse, honestly, I'm not sure. Obviously nobody saw him after that event, I would hope so. This should be jail, right? From what I've heard, he's now homeless. Jesus Christ, that's even worse. In a way. Please read this in episode 29. I love the series and I look forward to it every week. Well, you're gonna love this one, Kate. It's going in episode 29 because that is insane. That is completely bonkers. I don't know what I would do. I would probably have to like fight this man to get the mic away from him because who knows what he was gonna say. Also, did the 3 teachers know about the other teacher in the situation? Is everybody just getting cheated on in this school? You gotta step away from like work forever if you do something like that. No, that's bonkers. All right, well, Katie, thanks for writing in. Can't wait to tell that to my therapist. All right, let's do another one. This story is called The Column Tragedy. No idea what that might be about. What's going on, Mr. Fat, Fuzzy, Orange, Sometimes Green Blob Machine? Really? Really? My name is Derek and I was a social studies teacher in Australia for 10 years. We are global. Global. I spent 5 years in a school that had absolutely 0 safety precautions. Great, this is probably gonna go really well for you and for me. Because we're a private school, we very rarely got inspected by the state and it was basically up to us to figure out if the school was safe or not. Why? Why would you put a bunch of teachers in charge of safety? Oh, come here. You're just clanking around all day long. Come here. We have a guest. Everybody say hi to Boo. Yes. In my 4th year at the school, we had a really traumatic event that actually made it into the news. Great. The cafeteria at our school has columns that surround the perimeter of the cafeteria. Okay, very Hellenic, but go on. My entire time at the school, I thought that they were to help the structural integrity of the building, but we learned this day that they're pretty much just for decoration. There were 3 classes in the lunchroom one day, and while students were lined up, one student got pushed into the column. It started to fall in the direction of a teacher. Oh God. I saw it falling, and since we thought they were just for decoration, we thought that they must be made of styrofoam or by something light. That was until it literally crushed a teacher completely. It crushed a teacher completely? Oh no, no way, no. What do you mean it crushed a teacher completely? What does that mean? I have my feel-good hat and sunglasses on. What do you mean? I can get through this. This was until it crushed a teacher completely to the point where the teacher disappeared under the column. That's horrific. How are you supposed to respond to that?
Hope you're having a good one too. Take it easy.
Turns out the column weighed about 400 pounds. The teacher was pretty badly hurt, but ultimately he was perfectly fine. In that moment, the students reacted as if the teacher had died in front of their eyes. Yeah, that's like the common sense reaction. I would have thought the teacher was dead too. Absolute panic throughout the entire cafeteria. To this day, the students refer to that teacher as a zombie because they didn't believe that he survived the column falling on him. Okay, let me make it make sense. You think that this column fell on your teacher and he died, and he came back to life, and in his 2nd time living, he decided to continue teaching you. And you're just cool with that. You got Jack Skellington teaching you social studies? I'm confused. That is absolutely bonkers. Okay, well, that's horrific. Let's get to the last one. One more story and then I can just not have to worry about this for a while. Lots of teacher crash out stories this week. This one is called Teacher Loses Her Mind. I think it just means like the day in the life of a normal teacher, but you wouldn't be sending this in if that was the case. Okay, hello Mr. J, my name is Tasha and I live in London. We are global. We're global. Do you understand what the definition of global means? Look up the word global in the dictionary and you will see Classroom Horror Stories by Mr. J. Take that. When I was in 7th grade, we had a teacher who students loved to make fun of. Is this gonna be about me? Because No, it couldn't be. Her name was Miss Post. Thank God, that's not my name. Her name was Miss Post, and she just had a weird energy to her and kind of looked like a witch. This might actually be about me. I think I'd make a good witch. Yeah. Typically, I wouldn't agree with making fun of people, but this teacher treated the students horribly. She was very verbally abusive and also disrespectful to other teachers that we liked. Most of the time, people do it to themselves, right? Like, most of the time they do it to themselves. One way that our class enjoyed messing with Miss Post was by throwing pieces of paper at the wall when she was writing on it during class. Was this story from like the early 90s? I feel like that was very common then. We never hit her with the paper, but she would get upset every single time and it was always hilarious. Okay. One day, she apparently had had enough and she lost it. Great. Can't wait. One student threw a piece of paper and she turned around and said, "Oh my God, oh my God." Caroline, you're gonna have to bleep me through most of this. She turned around and said, "What the f is wrong with you stupid f***ing assholes?" Oh my God. To a group of 7th graders? Now the problem is they can say a lot worse back. They know words that I haven't even heard of. This was bad, but it got way more traumatic when she started literally pulling her hair out of her head in front of the class. What? She ripped her hair out of her scalp and started throwing it back at the students saying, "How do you like it?" That's horrific. Ugh. Oh my God. She did this for 5 minutes until she was almost out of hair. Oh my God. After she was almost out of hair, she walked out of the back door of the school and we never saw Miss Post again. I would be traumatized. That's like legitimately very traumatizing. I don't think I would be able to handle that. Oh God. I want to say poor Miss Post, but the thing that people don't understand is that it's like, kids don't do this for no reason, right? Like, it's very, very rare for kids to just like choose a teacher and just be horrible to them as a group. One kid who's just not raised right, yeah, they'll act horrible to whoever. But when the whole class hates you, there's 99.9% chance that there's a reason for it, right? It's a shame, but it also is kind of like a cautionary tale to teachers where it's like, you gotta try to put your best foot forward and you gotta be respectful to these kids because they will give it back to you and you will rip your hair out in front of a bunch of 7th graders. Oh my God, okay. Listen, you could be anywhere but you're here and that's sick. I appreciate you all. I'm shouting out another subscriber, so make sure that you subscribe to that person, go say hi to them. We're probably gonna get to episode 30 of this because every single time that one of these episodes comes out, more people are watching it and they're watching more of it. Like, you guys are engaging like crazy and I know that I like to sit here and be like, oh no, I have to do another episode. Like, I'm doing this because you all are clearly really into this. So I'm gonna keep doing it for you. Keep watching the videos, I'll keep making the videos. Go in the comments, tell me where you're watching from. I love seeing those. I love seeing where our entire audience is from. And then send your horror stories into the comments of this video and maybe I'll read some from there too. If you don't want to put them in the comments, you can send them to this email that's right above. Listen, I'll see you in episode 20, or no, 30. Oh my God, we're up to 30. All right, whatever. I'll see you in episode 30. Be good to yourself. See ya.